type of person. And I'm thinking, you look like you travel a lot and you want me to get there in that amount of time? Like, I should write that book about being a Lyft and Uber driver.
Yeah. Must be a lot of interesting people.
Not just that, just interesting things. It'd have to be 18 plus because some of the chapters would be very explicit. Ugh. I mean, I've been a getaway driver.
Okay.
That really wasn't my fault.
Did you tell that to the police? It wasn't my fault. They made me do it.
Well, this person used me to shoplift at a gas station.
Oh, there you go.
And no police were involved. I mean, if some guy steals 7 times from you and you don't catch him and you don't alert police, you might deserve to be shoplifted because someone's an easy mark. Yeah. That was the first and only time I've ever had a passenger jump in my car and say, floor it.
Did it give you a hint what was going on? Did you go, okay?
Well, this was Florida, and he was African American.
Really says it all.
And it was 10 p.m., and I thought he was being chased by some white supremacists because they're very, very common down there. And, I mean, I would not have known anything was going on until the cashier just started waving their arms at me. Then he asked for Venmo to pay for the drinks.
Did you floor it, or did you stop and let the owner of the place grab it?
I was halfway out of the parking lot before I saw someone waving, and I said, did you leave like your debit card or something in there because they're flagging me? And he acted like, nope, just go. And I said,
okay.
What is wrong with you? That's not the only illegal thing I've been involved in.
You've had quite the adventure. You're going to be telling all these people back in Alaska all this stuff, they won't believe you. They'll say, everything's so quiet in LA.
I've been bribed, solicited, I've seen indecency, copulation.
Welcome to LA. You're going to have it all here. You have the same if you lived in New York as well.
I've been asked out by a guy. His wife had the account, and she set up the ride, and then he asked me on the route. And I sent him a message, and now he's paying alimony. I was not the first driver he's liked. But LA, something about LA. There's some crazy people here.
A lot of crazy people here.
I picked up a very nice couple in Hollywood and dropped them at a nice 3-star restaurant, like a cafe bistro. And she was texting the whole time talking about some guy named Jasper who would not leave her alone. And she was like a happily married woman. But for some reason, he wanted to befriend her so he could get his hooks in at some point. She finally said yes, and her partner went there to wait. And I picked him up next. And the whole time he was talking about how she likes him, and I'm thinking, God,
that's what you think.
She's going to be sneaking out the bathroom window. Speaking of sneaking out the bathroom window, I met a guy who survived the Las Vegas shooting and the Pulse shooting. And
Both of them?
Yeah. And
that's a pretty unlucky guy.
And I said, congratulations, you survived the shooting with the most fatalities and the most injuries. And I said, maybe you shouldn't leave your house.
Ask him to call you anytime he's going anywhere and don't go there.
And he got out of the Orlando shooting by going in the bathroom and climbing out the window while the shooter was trying to break the door down. It's interesting, the things I've seen.
Not bad.
I almost ran over a Lyft pickup once. She was sleeping in the road like a mattress commercial with no mattress, just sleeping there.
Yes. Alcohol was involved.
African American, wearing all black. The only thing that saved her, she was 400 pounds. She was a little bit too wide and a little bit too tall
She looked
to
like
be
a speed bump.
She looked like a very pregnant speed bump. And I said, what are you doing? You're in a neighborhood. There's like 15 lawns next to your head, and you choose the cold, Turned out she hadn't slept in 5 days. And I said, you know what? I'm not taking you anywhere. No.
Told her.
Yeah, I mean, I had a guy that tried to open the car door while we were on the interstate. He was so lucid and drunk out of his mind. He kept pounding and kicking the ceiling, the windows. I had to call the EMTs because he fell backwards. And I had to pry him out of the car because he could not speak English. And I don't think he would have heard anything. I mean, there were 15 people on that street yelling at him, and he didn't even register he was on Earth.
That's what drinking will do for you. You get carried away.
And it was 1 in the afternoon. I mean, if you're drunk at 1 in the afternoon, you need to check yourself into an AA meeting because...
Yeah. You got problems.